Zvi and his Rebbetzin for opening their home to us, and I anticipated more of a battle when we came in to try to ask him to host this event, and he gave it rather easily, him together with his Rebbetzin. I think actually we sat here, they got a sneak preview of the film, and he said, give us the dates. Right. It's not his, this is rented, it's a disclaimer from Rent the Center, both of them. And but they agreed very, very quickly, and they were very excited to help us out. But they understood, and they saw the vision of what we're really trying to accomplish here. And I think what all of you here tonight have come to, those of you who know about us already, know about the organization, those of you who are looking to learn more, many of you in this room who have been involved on a personal level, who have lended their expertise and, in any way they can to help be there for anyone in the community who may need some sort of assistance. I was going back and forth of how I should proceed here, and I'm really just going to introduce Rabbi Feiner very momentarily, and he'll share some Zvi Bloom with us. But I was deciding whether I should read a letter, and I decided in the end that I will. It's very, very brief, and similarly to a while ago what happened where we got a letter last second, this is a family in the community that was helped literally not even a week ago. And today we got this from her about, I think it was 3 o'clock, 3:30, and I told her my intentions, and she, very excited, looked it over, and she said, please do read it. And I'm going to read it very quickly, and then with that we'll choose a Feiner, and then we'll have the short film. Dear Achiezer, it never fails to strike me how things can turn around in ways that we never anticipate. Just over 1 year ago, when Achiezer was a newly formed organization, I was grateful to be one of the first to offer my services. As a fairly well-connected member of the Far Rockaway community, I was glad to be in the position to offer others a helping hand. Little did I realize that I myself would be forced to approach Achiezer, desperate, just 1 year later. And I read her words word for word. Simply put, my world, our world, was crashing to pieces. Despite all of my connections, I had no idea where to turn. My husband and I both used to work at respectable jobs, supporting our family comfortably. Life hummed along at a relaxed pace until the day that my husband was diagnosed with a terminal illness. In one fell swoop, our life changed drastically. Not surprisingly, my husband was forced to give up his job. As for me, chauffeuring my husband to treatments nearly 3 hours away from home became my full-time occupation. Not to mention tending to his other needs and trying to keep our household together while still holding down a paying job. I managed to hold it all together for a while. But then more and more parts of our lives started disintegrating. In addition to my husband's issues, we have an ill child who needs ongoing treatments. Now that we couldn't pay our insurance premiums, all of our carefully planned medical arrangements for this child were going to be discontinued. And what could we do about it? Nothing. Then came the final straw, a very aggressive foreclosure notice. There was no way that we could pay our balance, and no way that we could foot the bill for a legal battle. On top of everything else, we were going to lose our home. That was it. I, the woman who was always capable of handling it all, had reached the breaking point. I picked up the phone and called Achiezer. Frankly, I wasn't quite sure what they could do for me, but I had nowhere else to turn, and thank God I had turned to the right address. Within 72 hours, Achiezer managed to turn our entire family situation around. Their insurance experts were able to file for a special exception, allowing our child to continue treatments without interruption. The filing cost several $100s, which we did not have, but Achiezer was able to take care of the bill without batting an eyelash. Next came the issue of my husband's treatments. To our great joy, through Achiezer's intervention, they informed us that by filing certain documents, my husband would now be able to procure his treatments just minutes away from our own home, which started this past Friday. To be honest, I'm not sure which will be contributing more to his health. The treatments or the fact that he does not have an exhausting, nearly 6-hour round trip to make 3 times a week. Finally, after speaking with a legal real estate consultant and verifying that we did indeed have a chance, we were connected with a specialized homeowner modification expert. He got to work right away, as he currently still is, and as it stands now, it looks like we will be able to stay in our own home. To the staff of Achiezer, I am at a loss for words. To put it simply, and I say this with tears in my eyes, maybe, just maybe, our family will be able to survive this nightmare with the help of Achiezer. For decades, our family has been blessed to be in the position to help others within the Far Rockaway community. Now, although we are forced to accept help from others, something which we cannot get used to anytime soon, we still consider ourselves blessed. Blessed to live in a community which gives so generously and willingly, and blessed to experience the open hand and heart of Achiezer, the organization that pulls our community's resources together for all of us when we need them most. Her letter ends there, and I want to add very, very briefly. There's a point I'd like to, which she had touched on in her own, which I was planning on bringing out tonight. This woman, I don't know the word prominent, she's someone that, a wonderful person that lives not many blocks from where we're standing right now. And the point I'd like to stress is as follows. We have been asked by many people, and we still are, especially when we're starting an organization down from the ground up. Who do you help? What do you do? Do quote-unquote regular people call you? Or is it only those who just don't have the wherewithal and the means to deal with these situations? What I'd like to clarify is as follows. What inspires the Achiezer team, as I like to call it, to deal with these most difficult circumstances is the knowledge and the fact that this is the way we would want to be taken care of if Chalila Chas v'Shalom we were ever tested. The fact of the matter is, we do not plan for a bump in the road. We don't plan on experiencing a crisis. It's just not the way we live our lives. We don't expect that the next time Chas v'Shalom something happens, we'll be the ones in those shoes. If a car drives off a road at 2 a.m. and a family of 6 young children lands up in a small Long Island hospital where the typical connections, so to say, don't exist over there, would we really know what to do? And when someone's child in the heart of our community is battling a devastating mental health illness, do you think that we would want to knock on our neighbor's door seeking advice? Do you think there's a manual in the bookstore of how to cope with such a situation? There isn't. If there's a young mother in the community who, due to her terrible illness, is stuck at home in bed, needs to have certain treatments given to her at home, and the insurance just will not pay for it. It's a Medicaid type insurance, whatever it is. Unfortunately, we've become all too familiar. Then she's not going to get that medication. It is our job, through our group of dedicated nurses and paramedics that have come together, to go to that home and free of charge provide that medication, which has also been given to us by people who have just jumped forward and eager to assist us. That is where we step in, and that is why we're all here tonight. I'd like to finish with a confession to everyone here. Achiezer's job can be, being involved in running Achiezer can be very, very challenging. And at times, I, as long as anybody else who's been involved with our office or volunteering for the organization, we find it very, very difficult. And the simple and real reason why we were able to continue this endeavor, I don't like to call it this chesed project, to continue this chesed movement of this entire community coming together, is simply because of the supporting cast that we have. There have been people who have literally, and there's many of you in the room who are agents to it from our board, who have begged us to get involved. Each with their own expertise, with their own niche, with their own thing that they could bring to the table. It is every one of these individuals that has allowed us to continue to build our resources and build the capabilities and build the situation that we can help in, and really have been a place that, no matter what, when Chas v'Shalom the need arises, no matter what time it is, no matter what the situation is, we're willing, we're ready, and we'll be able to help that family, that individual. There have been few that have been a greater chizuk than our guest speaker tonight. Almost 2 years ago, when we approached Rabbi Feiner, before we had the Achiezer idea even conceptualized completely, it was Rabbi Feiner who understood the vision, and he saw what it was that we wanted to create. A place where anyone, anytime, with any problem, could feel comfortable turning to. I'd like to ask Rabbi Feiner to say a few words.